frustration turn into elation as you turn your head to self-isolation decoration.
Hello there, Phil here from Paint the Town Green, giving you some decorating ideas and suggestions for things you can be doing while we're in lockdown. I thought I'd do a separate one of these videos about the different types of paint that are used when you're painting woodwork and painting furniture, doors, frames, exterior timber, things like that. Because it can be slightly confusing, and I even sometimes with junior decorators have to clarify with them exactly what everything's for. So you've basically got three paints that you will use to build up the layers when you're painting woodwork. They are primers, undercoats and top coats. Each of them has basically two purposes, or two main things that they do, and they're all slightly different. If they're used in the wrong order, or one of them is not used at all, it can cause problems with the longevity of the work. So to run through them really quickly, and hopefully this will be a useful thing. Primers. Primers are used to prepare areas or surfaces so that they can be painted onto. Now you get different types of primers, you get wood primer, you get metal primer, and we've talked on other videos about primers that will take you from an oil-based paint that you can then paint a water-based on top of it, but they will prepare the area. I'm reluctant to use the word stabilise because that's a whole other thing we use to stabilise it, but they'll prepare a surface and they will also then give you a surface you can paint onto. So those are its two things, to prepare a surface and then give you a surface you can then paint onto. Next we have undercoats, okay? Undercoats do two things. They cover up. So they always have, we call it opacity in decorating. It basically means coverage. So it gets rid of whatever's underneath it. You don't see that colour and you see the new colour. So undercoats are usually quite thick. One of their main purposes is to cover up and give you a base of colour, and they also give you a surface to paint onto. So something that primers and undercoats have in common is they're not designed to be seen at the end, and as such they're not a finish coat. So they're all about being something you can paint on top of, rather than something that looks good or that protects. Okay, and then you have your finish coat, which is usually an eggshell or a gloss, or it could be a satin. Okay, and what these are designed to do is to look good and protect. So basically it's the finish. They're designed to present a finish, and they also have a degree of opacity to them, so to cover things up. But if you've got a black and you want it to go white, you don't want to skip your undercoat stage, because you need that undercoat to give you the blocking out of the black so that you then go to the white. If you go straight from primer to top coat, which you can do, a lot of people do a primer and two top coats, but a primer, an undercoat and a top coat will give you better coverage, if that makes sense, because you're using the undercoat which is designed to cover well, but it's not designed to look good. So primer first, followed by undercoat, followed by top coat. Hopefully that clarifies what the three of those do. Never skip the primer if it's a bare surface, never skip the top coat, but you can miss out the undercoat and do two top coats if coverage isn't a major issue. Hopefully that's helpful.